Well, hi, I am Amit. In this video, I'm going to talk about tips to get a job for a fresher in testing role. Well, I thought to choose this topic because I was once upon a time a fresher, and I also see many messages in the groups, and I can connect to the feeling of a fresher, like what challenges they are facing when it comes to finding a job. Especially, I know the struggle that a fresher faces when it is a job hunting in a off-campus market. So this weekend I summarized all those challenges at one place and gave a thought on those challenges, and I came up with a mind map. Uh, if the diagram which you're right now looking on the screen is called as mind map. Basically, it's pretty straightforward, right? I mean, the mind map is something which is used to store information in a graphical way so that you can access these topics in a very faster way. Uh, yep, let's get started and let's look into every component. Let me zoom in. Resume. This is a most important topic since every fresher has a resume, but most of them fail to make the resume concise and precise. I mean, when I say concise, it is more to do with clarity, right? You have to ensure that your resume is very clear, very briefly stated. While I talk about precise, it should be correct and accurate. It's like never fake something which is um, uh, never fake anything in resume, and most importantly, keep your resume 1 or 2 pages, because recruiter gets many applications every day. Many applicants send their resumes to recruiters, and they cannot go and look each and every resume, right? So the attention span of a recruiter is always very less. So when you keep your resume smaller, it helps them to look at the required information, and they will easily get to know who you are and what are your skills. The next important thing is highlight your achievements. Yep, I've seen many people who take a template while doing a resume and start filling a data. Uh, and when a template might have a topic like academic performance, right? And the one who is filling a data might not be good in academics, right? So when you're not good at academics, like your SSLC, your PUC results are not so good, then there is no point in highlighting them, right? Instead, highlight the things that you have achieved so far. That was all about highlighting. Yep, and never copy paste, right? That's most important thing, because when I ask candidates on what is your career objective, they say something different, and completely different than what they have already put in resume. So you should never copy paste resumes. So even if you are copy pasting, you should never copy paste career objective skills. Maybe you might not have a skill of drafting a sentence or putting a sentence in a correct way, while you have all the freedom to take look at a sample resume and frame it up. But never copy paste the skills, never put the skills in a resume which you are not skilled at. And more importantly, give a graphical touch. Again, the reason is same, just to a recruiter would get to know the skills, the tools in a very quick glance. Well, if you have done any hobby project, it is always good to showcase. These hobby projects are not the one which you have done in your college days, but something out of your interest. This shows that a candidate is eager to learn and wants to work on different projects. That's always a added advantage for your skill set. Know your resume very well. I mean, whenever you are answering anything, in an interview, always go prepared, and whatever skills you have the same thing in your resume. uh, Proofread your resume very well. Look at the grammatical mistakes, look at the uh, sentence formation, make it look very professional and neat. And the other important thing is, tweak the resume or cover letter to match the job role. Well, say for example, you are applying for a job, and you have read the job description, and you know that job description really suits your skill set. Now, just do not go and apply with your existing resume. Instead, what you can do is pick some keywords from those job description and put them in your resume and cover letter, and then you can submit an application. The reason why you have to do this is, again, it is a technique, because there are resume parsers. uh, there are many applicants who are sending the resume to ATS, right? ATS is application tracking system. You are trying to upload your resumes. There are 1,000 people who apply for one profile, like say software testing profile, right? So now it becomes difficult for an HR to screen in the profiles. So they have the system like resume parsers. These are the software systems which is helping uh, recruiters to filter the right resumes. So that's the reason that your keywords should match the job description. That is one way to get an interview opportunity. The next approach that I'm trying to say is a STAR approach. It's a technique basically. S stand for situation, T stands for task, or you can also say target, A stands for action, and R stands for result. So it is whenever you're answering um, any whenever you're answering any questions, try to put it in a STAR approach. What was the situation while you were trying to solve the problem? What was your target? And what action did you take, and what was the outcome of it? So you can always do that while you are explaining something to an interviewer, while you also can design the whole resume in the STAR approach itself. Maybe you can again look at Wikipedia to get to know more about this technique. Well, I've stated another thing that is called as video resume. You can also do one thing. Not you have to. You can also do this as well. It is just to increase recruiters' attention, because most of the people who apply for a job, they send resume which is very much text intensive. If you can send a video along with uh, the resume, it might increase it might give you a good personal touch to the recruiter. The video resume always in one way adds up a weightage, because a recruiter would get to know the communication skill of a candidate, maybe also confidence and many such things like that. So but you should do it along with your resume, and again, do not extend this whole video resume of yourself. I mean, just try to keep this resume again concise and precise. Maybe you can do a 30-second video or 1-minute video. And the next one is PDF. Yep, you should always convert your resume to PDF. I have seen people who send doc format directly. There are many operating systems that recruiters use. Some operating systems might not support docx, and also if you have made it PDF, nobody can edit any information easily, right? So always good to keep your resume in PDF. Well, there are many job portals like Naukri, Angel. This angel.co is just for startups. You can also check this forum. Indeed, I've just mentioned few. So you have to keep your profile updated. create a profile in as many job portals as you can, and always ensure that you have your profile completed, so that you can apply for the jobs. And while you are applying for a job, this is a very important feature, that is, use advanced search to filter the jobs. I see this in most of the job portals. You can use this feature to get the right jobs, and you can easily apply. I mean, you'll get to know which jobs are meant for freshers, which are meant for experienced. Do not waste your time applying jobs for the experienced ones, right? I mean, you can only apply for the ones which employer or recruiter is looking for. So you can use this option. Well, consultancies are you can also send your profile to consultancies. uh, you can always look for consultancies. There are few consultancies who are very good at, I mean, they have tied up with different MNCs. So they would arrange a interview, they would screen in a candidate, and they outsource the candidate to many different companies and for many different roles. So sending your profile to consultancies uh, is a very important thing. Maybe you can go and look for consultancies, while be aware that there are many fraud consultancies who look who ask for a money, and many freshers get cheated. Well, I will also talk about that later, but just keep this thing in mind. Yep, the most important thing is meet seniors. Yep, you have to meet seniors. You have to approach seniors for many reasons. Like, you can also get mentored. Mentoring is the most important thing. Most of the freshers ping ping the experienced ones to get a reference, right? Just don't always go for go all just doesn't don't always go to seek an referral, but you can always do one thing is, maybe you can get your knowledge validated. All this while you have prepared for an interview, you can say, hey, I have prepared. I don't know if I have prepared completely or thoroughly. Maybe you can set a mock interview for me. Can you ask me a few questions? Can you help me to understand the reality? Can you help me to tell what exactly the expectations of the software industry is? Yep. So all such things, you can always go and meet seniors. And if in fact if they don't reply, don't get dejected. They might be busy, but if you at least go and reach 10 seniors, out of them at least one or two would definitely respond, and they might help you to add up things for your skill as well. Well, the most important part is training and upskilling platforms. Before you start giving any interviews, this is very important. That is, you can go and look into these many resources where you might already know about these. Yes, you can also go and learn in institutes. The There are many institutes which also teach software testing. The quality of what they teach might not be good, but there is always one extra edge in going to good institutes, for few reasons. Like, they have good tie-ups with MNCs, they have good tie-ups with organizations, so they work on contract basis. So maybe you can learn testing from these all stuff and just be a part of an institute to get a job. So again, do a good research before you choose an institute. And the most important part that most of the freshers don't do, I feel, is look at the testing blogs. I mean, I have mentioned few blogs which I actually love them. You can go and look at these blogs. Well, while you are learning something, which I also recently learned, is something I thought to share, is don't change the path unless you learn a skill completely. Say for example, you have picked up say Selenium, with Java, and you are able to connect to an instructor. Say you are referring an instructor on Udemy. You have covered up to 30% of the course, and from next 30% onwards you are feeling that it is difficult to digest. At such instances, what I would suggest you is switch to another forum, say YouTube, or switch to another instructor and try to proceed with what you have picked up. Instead, never go and stop it till there and okay, I'm not able to continue this, and let's start putting my efforts in API testing. Let's start my efforts putting in performance testing. Well, don't do that. At least try to cover decent amount of course so that you would be confident. Well, there are career websites, you already know there are career websites, but the most important thing is they look for internships. Well, you can go and apply for internships. If you get selected as an intern, you might perform well. You will get to know the industry's expectations. You will get a chance to work on real-time projects. You get to meet many people while you take internships. So there are chances that you getting converted from an intern to a full-time employee is more when you perform well in internships. So what I wanted to say here is just don't just not only look for jobs but also for internships. Yep. So the next thing is interview. You should be very good in telling a story. I mean, it is not about making a story and try to tell something incorrect or something wrong, but you focus on your storytelling skill. As a tester, one should know how to frame a story and not frame, I mean basically showcase what exact in a very interesting way to a recruiter or an interviewer so that he can connect to you. And in fact, this skill is also required when you are maybe reporting a bugs, maybe highlighting the risks to stakeholders while you are on job. Well, the another important thing is be confident. It's pretty general, and this confidence comes from skill. I will tell you what are the skills that a tester needs to know. And the most important part, I wanted to highlight is, yes, if you cannot provide right solution, provide your approach. I know, I mean, from testers, there is the hiring manager's expectation from tester is you have to get your basics right. So you have to if you don't know the answers, you need not get panic. You can say that I don't know. You do not hesitate to say I don't know. And at the same time, if you are nervous or if you are not sure on how to arrive at the right solution, you can always try to give your approach. That is one way of answering a question. But never fail to try. You can try and fail, but never fail to try. So, and the other point is, don't fake. Be transparent, and at the same time, don't be desperate and needed to beg for a job. Right? So you have spent good enough time to hone a skill, and you can always sell yourself with a skill. So you can always do that. And the most important part I would talk about is skills. Well, everyone starts looking for a job. I would first suggest you to have the skills, practice it, and then go and look for the job. Start the job hunting. Basically, these are two different things: gaining a skill and applying for a job. These are two different things. Yep. So thinking is one of the most important skill for a software tester. And of course, communication. I mean, if you want to showcase something, or if you want to project something, be it verbal or be it written. It's always good to have that. uh, Look on problem solving, that's most important. I will tell you what tools, I mean, like what skill you need to have. Maybe you can go and look in depth on how to achieve these skills, like how can I think better. If somebody says you like a tester should think out of the box, so how to think out of the box, just try to find answers for such things. Like reasoning is very important for a tester. Note taking is also a very important skill for a tester. It shows that you are organized, you are well prepared. That's very important. Of course, programming and scripting, it is very important. uh, but most of the testers, what they do is that they only focus on programming and scripting. So they think that testing is equal to test automation. So that is not right. While you focus on programming and scripting, do not forget the core testing skills. These are the core testing skills. Programming is a way, or it helps you to expand your testing. You can automate your repetitive stuff, be it any repetitive stuff, just not your regression test cases, but any repetitive stuff you can always go and automate. In fact, you can go and generate the test data using automation. So all such thing you can do it. So learn programming and scripting. Again, since you are a fresher, don't try to learn many languages at the same time. Pick one language. It can be Java, it can be Python, or any language which you are comfortable with, and try to go in depth. There are many testing tools. Look for testing tools as well. Again, questioning is also again a core testing skill. You should know to ask questions. A software tester is one a good software tester is the one who asks plenty of questions. What is this? Why it is done like this? Why it is not done like this? So maybe you can gain a skill of how to question. Another important skill I think I have not mentioned here is observation skill. Let me also do that here. You must be very observant, so you can also try to hone this skill. Look at the testing techniques, and yeah, again, the most important thing is get your basics right. So you need not be expert at all the things which I have mentioned here. Basically, the expectation for a fresher is the hiring manager's expectation for a fresher is you should know your basic rights. They can find they can identify your potential if you have put your efforts in all these directions. So you can always try to get this skill, focus on learning these skills. So yeah, you should also search for your own capabilities. I mean, whatever you are good at, you have to always go and expand it, so that you can always you have an extra edge on what you know, right? So it gives you a good confidence. It will help you to increase your potential as well. Well, these are the skills. Maybe you can go and dig deep into each of the skill. When I say thinking, it is again critical thinking, analytical thinking. So you can always go and look at how can I increase my critical thinking skills. Well, yeah, job referral is the most important and most effective way to get a chance for an interview. Maybe you can always have your list of known contacts. Maybe, yeah, these known contacts can be the one who are already in your in your relatives, in maybe your cousin brothers, maybe your friends relatives, or that can be one, and other one can be your connections, your social connections. So maybe you can have a list of all those contacts, and uh, frequently you can go and call up or catch up with them. Well, and yep, this is the most important thing. While you reach anyone on LinkedIn or on any platform, just do not say hi and wait for the response. Because if you think in a way that I am a recruiter, and if you think in a way that you are a recruiter and you have plenty of messages just saying hi, right? So that doesn't make any sense. I mean, that in fact everyone is going to ignore just highs, right? So give them the context. So like, hi, so and so, I am looking for this information, can you help me with this? So such things, basically try to be as specific as you can, give them the more context, and just not say hi. Well, job fairs, these are the things which are not happening recently. I mean, it's happening over online, I think so. Maybe try to look at that. But uh, when there was no when there was when things were good and then there was no pandemic, there were many walk-in interviews and many recruitment drives. Especially look for these companies like TCS and Infosys. These There are many big MNCs who conduct such drives. So maybe you can keep looking for the job fairs. So you have to look for the place where you will get to know the information about the job fairs, like what job fairs are running, in which location they are running, and what are the prerequisites, who can attend them. Such thing you can get it in different places. Like there is I will talk to you about that. Yeah, you will get such places in such sites like LinkedIn and all. So I will talk about social and professional networking. Well, this is a very important topic. You have to have your account in LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. These are all the LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook. These are the most important place to network yourself. And yeah, you have to go and give your profile a specific title. Like say you want to be a tester, then just give tester. If you're looking for test automation engineer, yep, just make that change as test automation engineer, rather than just saying software engineer. So I yep, Telegram is another forum. Telegram is another platform where you would get to see many forums like TTC Job Corners, and Naveen Automation Lab Job Corners, Qualitician, QA. These are the groups which are helping testers to find many opportunities. They are giving many opportunities. You are getting so many messages every day. Have an eye there. Look at the jobs and try to apply them. Well, so me and Uma have also started running a clubhouse. We have not started yet. I mean, we are soon starting uh, clubhouse rooms. You can also come and share the knowledge and also learn from such rooms. There are also many such rooms in clubhouse. You can also go and follow. And yeah, the most important part is communities. Well, communities, you have to be in communities for many reasons. You see very like-minded people in communities. There are many people with different set of experiences in communities. There are freshers, there are people with 20 plus years of experience in software testing. So communities help you in many ways, just not for networking, to be it to burst the myths that have come along with testing. uh, Basically to fine tune any approach on how to solve a testing problem. So such things, you can always be a member of communities. It is just not for freshers. If you are into a developer, be into development communities. If you are in a tester, be into testing communities. uh, yep, and you can also network better in communities. So test chat is one wonderful community that I am into, and test tribe is again a beautiful community. So these are the communities for testers. You can always join them. You can go and join them in Telegram as well. This is on I think test tribe is also on uh, I don't remember the name of an app where they do an audio streaming. So test tribe is also into audio streaming nowadays. Ministry of Testing has their Slack channel. You can always be a part of it. Well, conferences are the other important topic. You have to attend many conferences for knowledge, for networking, for whatnot. I mean, you can always meet many people and enrich your experience by listening to the speakers. And if you are at a state of giving up talk, and if you want to confer something, you can always go and host conferences as well. Well, the most important part of this is these forums like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, right? You can showcase your efforts. I mean, for example, you have studied something, you have learned something. Now, if you want to showcase that, and if you want to document that, right, you can project your knowledge by writing blogs or writing posts in LinkedIn, or putting tweets, or writing in Facebook, like wherever you feel comfortable. You can always do blogs. If you are comfortable doing videos, you can always do videos on, put them on YouTube. Basically, this sort of this sort of approach creates a brand. Like, this is called as branding yourself, right? So you can always brand yourself with what you know, and your online presence is very important. That's why you have to also brand yourself. When you brand yourself, there are more chances that recruiter looks at your resources. Or even when you are giving an interview, you can say, hey, I have learned this and I have shared this to a community. You can go and look at what piece of work I am doing. Say if you have a GitHub profile, you can always give them the GitHub profile. Or if you want to give them the YouTube link, yep, always you can give them. If you have any blogs that you have written, yep, so you can always do. So that is one way, or one credible way to prove that you have put your efforts, you are trying to project your knowledge to the whole forum, right, to whole community. That's most important. Well, I think I have covered all these topics. Training, and I'll just summarize in a nutshell. You have to have your resume very crisp, and look at the different approaches, have it in a PDF, put a whole hobby projects, know your resume very well, do not fake. Job portals, you already know there are many portals. I just listed few. For especially if you're looking for startups, this is the best forum. Yep, you can also go and reach consultancies, meet seniors. Especially seniors are free during weekends. They can come back and help you on weekends. Just don't approach them for referrals, but also ask them for these stuff. They should help you. I mean, if they are interested, they are definitely going to help juniors, right? So training and upskilling, yep, so you have to read blogs. You already know this stuff. If you know some good institutes which are helping you for your placements, definitely go and enroll into institutes. Yep. And be very aware about institutes. I also hear stories that they charge a lot, saying a real-time project, and they take like 50,000 60,000 rupees from a fresher, and at the end of the day they would not give a quality education. And basically be aware and about such institutes. Well, testing blogs are very important. I have just mentioned few blogs. There are many blogs as well. You can go and start reading these blogs. You can also follow people, test evangelists, test enthusiasts. Satisfies is by James Buck. Develop Sense is by Michael Bolton. Tested is by Pradeep Soundararajan, and Enjoy Testing is by Ajay Balamurgadas. So you can go and Test Project. I have read few articles from Test Project written by Prashant Hegde. So you can always go and read these testing blogs. They are really I can say they are like a Bible, they are gem. So they are giving a very right testing education, so you can always go and read them. We also discussed about career websites, applying for internships, applying for jobs, and then trying to convert your internship into a full-time job. Well, we also know what is expectation in an interview. Mostly it would be your basics and all your efforts that you have spent while preparing. If you have to project it very neatly, you should have your skill first. Only then you will be confident. And that's always fine to say that you don't know. Whenever you don't know, do not fake, be transparent. And if you can not arrive to a solution, you can always give them an approach, and also improve your storytelling skills. Well, these are the many skills that we looked on, like critical thinking, analytical thinking, verbal communication, written communication. Also focus on how to get skilled in all such things. Well, I will give you an example of one way of thinking. Say for example, in a software testing interview, a recruiter gives you, hey, can you test this water bottle? While you only write test cases about, while you give them test ideas or test cases about how to test a water bottle, uh, that is one way of thinking. But if you think in, if you go little deep and change your perspective, when you're testing water bottle, you might also go and take that water bottle and try to put it in different sleeves, right? I mean, water bag, the bags have a sleeve, the car doors have a sleeve. So just to check if water bottle is really going to fit into those sleeve. So yeah, thinking about the sleeve, because water bottle is also related to a water bottle sleeve. So in this way, you can, one short example of thinking I just now gave. You can also go and learn more about thinking, communication, problem solving, how to do reasoning, uh, especially note taking. So mind mapping is one beautiful way to take a note. I mean, I think you already now know what is a mind map. um, Ensure that you also learn programming. It's always good to have uh, one programming which you are very much comfortable, know it very thoroughly, so that you can help in building tools or help in solving any problem, even automating many use cases, just not the regression use cases, maybe automating the test data itself. There are testing tools like Selenium and all such stuff. You can also go and learn that. Yep. Learn about questioning, learn about observation, learn how to curiosity is most important. Yep, a tester should be insanely curious, so keep asking questions. Questioning is very important. So yep, at the end of the day, again, you need not be expert at all of this, but at least if you have genuinely tried in exploring these areas, and trying to get your basics right of approaching these stuff, right? So it might, you might be treated as a highly potential candidate. So you can always go and do that. Yep. Job referral, you know whom to reach, you know what to say, you also know how to give them the context. And now you also know, I mean, you already knew job fairs. Also look for what are the job fairs which are happening online these days. I might have missed that because I don't know about those. You can definitely stay relevant in that aspect as well. Well, this is most important, social and professional networking. While you network and while you build your connections in these many forums, you can also go and write articles, write blogs. If you're comfortable doing videos, you can always do that. Well, I am done speaking. This was a mind map. This is a complete mind map. I will see if I can attach this mind map in the link. If you feel that this was a useful session, feel free to share this mind map to your friends. You should always go and spread your knowledge. Don't hesitate to share your knowledge. I mean, it sort of creates a healthy competition, right? So it's good. I mean, always try to share it with the people. Even they will also get benefited from it. Thank you. I hope this was useful. Bye bye.